but I guess
Country road, take me home
to the place I'm in love.
West Virginia. Ma.
Is that the
Right.
is that the intro for this episode?
Dude, that's gonna be our new intro, dude.
All right, let's sync up.
All right. At the count of three, say West Virginia.
Yes.
Joodough countdown.
Yes. 3, 2, 1. West Virginia.
Okay.
Sick.
Cool. Welcome to Why the Hell Are We Watching This? Today we have our hosts, Alex, Joodough, and I, Null Toxicity. And we're going to be talking about Now and Then, Here and There. It's an old anime about liberals. Joodough, tell us a little bit about it.
Now and there, and fuck, and then, here and there. Or Ima Soku Iru Boku no Piko is a show where this young, optimistic boy named Shu, on the way home from kendo class, sees this beautiful girl standing at the top of this water tower, and as he approaches him, a bunch of dragons come out of nowhere, metal ones, and they get transported to another world, and another world turns out to be hell. Shu gets drafted into this child military in this giant fortress that, like, this militaristic force that, like, just terrorizes the desert, because the entire world is a desert world, and his goal is to try to save the girl and get back home. And a lot of shit happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. It's the whole thing.
Yep.
All right. See you next time on
Yeah.
Why the Hell Are We Watching This?
It's great being here.
Yeah. Well, you know, there's some stuff going on in this anime. At first, you might not think it's going to be what it is, but then you look at the genre tags that say drama, military, science fiction, and dystopia.
Dystopia.
That says slice of life,
Yeah.
shonen.
Romance.
Sports.
It's a kendo anime.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So the first episode of this anime is entirely about kendo, actually.
I wish.
So,
Should I talk about like the production, like the director and
yeah,
stuff?
if you want to. I mean, I am the only one who didn't already watch this anime beforehand, so
Yeah.
I actually have no background with this anime. It was completely fresh for me.
The director was Akitaro Daiichi, who directed mainly kids and shoujo shows before.
Do you have any
And, like, he
examples
did-
of those?
Except that he did,
Like nothing notable.
yeah, nothing notable. The only notable things that he directed was Fist of the North Star
Cool.
and Tonkatsu
Fist of the
DJ.
North Star is sick. Hokuto no Ken's awesome. I don't know.
Tonkatsu DJ Arigato Agirato, whatever it is, was like my favorite show of the year that it came out in.
Now that I think about it, now that you mentioned that, the world that they're in kind of does remind me of the world in
Fist of the
Hokuto no
North Star.
Ken.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
about to say. But it's a very happy
Yeah.
sequence of events that led to the creation of the show. Because this show has a lot of heart, polish, flourish, and a lot of stuff happens that we'd love to talk about.
I mean, the writer is like, the writer is called Hideyuki Kurata, and he did like so much shit. He did fucking Orimo, Exo Saga, The
Are you
Rock of
saying
Orimo,
he
Summer
did
Flamenco.
Are you saying he did
Drifters.
Oreimo like it's a good thing? Like,
He did Made in Abyss. I mean, he was the
Yeah.
screenwriter for it. I don't think, maybe he was the actual writer too. I don't know. Is there a manga
Well,
for
the
it?
important part was that he wrote an isekai story correctly, and it's still the best one to date.
Yeah.
which one is that?
Like, the best boy gets sent to another world story. That archetype.
No, what? Oh, you're saying this is an isekai. I
Yeah,
guess
yeah.
it kind of is.
It is an isekai. That's what it means. Yeah.
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 Wow.
Right?
My rating on Mal has gone down by 2.
Okay, there's no MMORPG involved. There are no tits, and there's no hint of adverse hair color except for Lalalu, whatever.
Yeah. I think Kurata is like the only person whose career survived making this anime, though.
Maybe.
Because the animation studio
the director
is defunct
did
now. And the director made a bunch of 80s
Yeah.
anime, and now he just makes Fist of the North Star spin-offs.
I mean, he fucking directed Tonkatsu DJ Agitaro.
I seriously don't
which
know
came
what
out-
that is. But
It's like a fucking slice of life show about a boy who wants to be a DJ that came out like 2 years ago.
Not 2 days ago.
2 years.
But yeah, this show is
Yeah,
definitely
same thing. It was wholesome
definitely
and
that
hype.
studio's crowning jewel, and I'd love to talk about what it does correctly, what the characters do correctly, perhaps incorrectly, and how they interact in this crazy world and in this giant fortress that can move.
I want to, before we talk about the characters or anything like that, I do want to talk about, like, the environment and the art and,
Yeah.
like, how, like, actually good this anime looks.
So good. Fantastic.
Yeah. Especially for like the time it came out. And for a fucking TV anime.
Yeah.
Like the backgrounds
I
were
think
gorgeous.
it got, like, remastered for a DVD release. So I don't know, like, how true to the, like, TV running it was.
Maybe they like just rescanned.
Yeah, I'm not sure. But it looks...
Because it was before digital.
It looks absolutely beautiful. It's just the whole anime is just fucking dark and orange and
Yes.
gray and brown and yeah. I mean, sometimes there were some. Okay, so let me tell you my plight right now.
Go for
I
it.
had to watch this shit in like stretched full screen.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I couldn't find a stream for it,
Hmm.
and I didn't have time to download it before I watched it.
Yeah.
So I watched a very, like...
Stretched and in times 1.5
Yeah, but that's
speed.
beside the point. The
I mean,
stretched, like,
is it-
4x3 made it really hard to tell what was happening at some points. Like, some of the darker points in the anime.
It's clearly the show's fault.
Yeah, totally. No, I was actually just surprised at, like... I feel like this is one of those anime that they, like, really heavily cracked down on streaming sites for. I don't know where you guys watched it, but...
Oh, I streamed it.
I mean, we don't need to
No,
talk
we
about
definitely
that.
do. No. Yeah, and animation was, like, never bad.
Surprisingly, barely any like still
Yeah.
images,
Yeah.
except when it's like fucking shoe hanging off of a rope, and you see his silhouette. Even then, he was like fucking.
They do
moving
use
in
still
the-
images to introduce the entire environment of what's the place's name again? It's like hell.
Hell.
Hell's hell.
Hell.
Hell. It's hell.
Hell. It's just hell.
To introduce hell, they had to, like, first of all, I want to talk about the transition from going to modern day Japan to, like, being dropped in this industrial, like giant chamber, and then Shu has no idea. The main kid's name's Shu. He's like 12, I think, around 12. And
Oh
then,
my god, it's literally called Hollywood.
Hollywood.
Like Hollywood.
But
Yeah.
Hollywood, yeah. So him being dropped inside of Hollywood in this giant metal cage, and eventually you get to see what's on the outside to this giant, like, this desert wasteland, and the orange sun is beating down so hard on Shu. That's such, like, a strong atmospheric establishment right off the bat. I
Yeah.
loved it.
You know, one thing that bugged me about it, about
name?
Hollywood, is like
Yes.
you know,
I love the name.
you know that it's like this absolutely massive fucking fortress, but like you don't see how big it is. Like you don't see the scale from the inside. At one point, where like Hugh fights this other guy, you know what I'm
Narita?
talking about. Like when he just
Yeah.
yeah when he fights him and
So-
drops his fucking
Oh,
the
okay.
fucking
Yeah.
pendant into wherever they're fighting. It's like a huge drop. That's like the only time you
Well,
actually see
That's
a bit of the massive thing.
that's
inside of it.
directly after.
Like it can't possibly be like like those tiny corridors throughout the whole fucking thing.
That's directly after him falling through this giant like tube.
Yeah.
Like he fell into an abyss, fell through a
guess.
tube, landed on a bridge.
Yeah, it was a Star Wars.
Some guy
free fall.
chased. Yeah, it was the Star Wars fall,
Yeah.
and then some guy chased him down it, somehow getting there in a timely fashion, and then they fight. The sacred jewel shard gets launched off, and then it's another like abyss at the bottom, and it's like, man.
Yeah, I guess it seems inconsistent, but what it really got
Yeah.
across, those seams got across, they presented the idea that Hollywood is fucking huge, and then later on when they actually show the outside of it, it seems huge, so that's consistent
Yeah.
at least. Even if like the shot-by-shot composition doesn't
Yeah.
make sense when you think about it, like while you're watching it, you make sense that, oh shit, the pendant
Yeah.
fell a million floors
I mean,
down.
it's not something that I'm like reflecting
Honestly,
about
yeah.
too heavily. It's something that was jarring in the moment.
Oh, okay.
So I could, you know.
That's probably the 4x3.
It's. I think it's jarring to think about afterwards, but like in the moment, like there's always something happening.
I guess we
You
should
didn't
explain
think
a little
about it.
background why she was even there in the first place, why like the whole deal with the military thing in Hollywood, so we can actually so it makes sense.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So basically, like, Shu is walking home from school, and he just fucking decides to climb these giant smokestacks because he sees a girl up there.
I do that.
And yeah, and then they're watching the sunset together or some shit, some dumb anime shit.
Yeah.
And these like mechanical monsters teleport in, or like people riding mechanical like dragons and mechs and stuff.
Yeah.
And they're like they come to get the girl, and she's like very obviously like special. She's got special anime eyes.
Different eyes. She's got different
anyone
eyes.
anyone with white hair is automatically special and important.
Was it white hair? I thought it was blue.
It was like a very
I think it was
white,
blue, yeah.
like pale blue.
Yeah,
To the
it's-
point where it's kind of white.
Fair.
Maybe that was just Flux messing with me. But yeah, continue.
You watch anime with Flux on?
I keep Flux on at all times.
Dude, you gotta at least take off Flux so you can like appreciate art.
This is
What the
why
hell?
my eyes work, okay? It's because I use Flux.
Yeah, but like you have to take it off, or even
I do
even-
switch it off sometimes, and the difference is negligible.
No.
I've gotten used to it. I know what you mean. I've been concerned about it in the past, but ultimately it's fine.
Be concerned about it in the future too.
It's fine. Continue.
Fucking silver hair.
It's not
Jesus
fine.
Christ.
No, it was blue, but it was very pale. Okay, great. Teleporting
Okay, so they get
dragons.
They get teleported into this like area, and it turns out that this girl, her name's La La Rue.
La la la.
Yes, or da da do.
Da-da-doo.
Da da do do do. Anyway, she's magic. She can create water, which is apparently like Jesus juice because it can fuel ships and
Yeah, for some
and
reason.
be drunk.
For some reason, it can fuel that ship. For no reason.
They kind of explain it a little bit later, but I'll get into that.
Yeah.
Like, but what happens is they start running away. The girl and Shu, La La Rue and Shu, start running away from these people who are trying to get her so that she can make water, and they end up like passing the jewel off. And like what you need is the girl who can control the jewel, and the jewel that has all the water in it, right?
Right.
So they do that, and then they like lose the jewel. It falls into an abyss,
And yeah.
and then our main character gets tortured for 3 episodes.
He does.
Only 3.
Well,
I don't know.
Well, like
I don't know if
the
it was only
governmental
3.
body of Hollywood itself is that it's this weird military dictatorship that seems kind of random. Like there's no. I guess Hollywood is an independent nation or something, but the guy at the top is this guy named Hamdo. Hamdo is his name, who's dejected Rock Lee after Guy Sensei died.
Yeah,
That's
he
what turns
actually
into.
looks like
He does.
Rock Lee with like a pedophile mustache.
Yeah, and he is pervertedly obsessed with Lala Rue, and like in a weird, insane fawning seizes up every 2 seconds and like spittles at the mouth. Yeah.
Well,
and-
the
I
guy
hate it
is
so
like
much.
actually just insane.
he's just insane.
Not just La-La-Ru.
yeah, he's insane.
I think he's like obsessed with taking over the world, but like he
Yeah,
needs
that makes
to.
sense.
for
So pretty
that.
much he wants her to power the ship, and probably because he's a pervert. And his second in command is this nice lady that gets bossed around and slapped every single other second. And pretty much they command this this army of child soldiers that they steal from like the land around them, because the land around them is this desert, and there are like desert villages and people living peacefully. And Hollywood just shits, like just flies up and shits down on the village and like steals all their women and children and trains them to be soldiers, and like they're brainwashed saying you have to fight for us and we'll let you free, which is obviously a lie. And then that entire force is after Shu and La-La-Ru, so that's what he's up against.
And these soldiers are like almost like fanatically like they're taught to fanatically follow his orders. So like
Yeah, heavy
because
brainwashing.
like if not they get beat or like killed or whatever.
It's
you know?
real strong brainwashing. And they're like his age. They're like Shu's age.
Yeah, they're all children.
Yeah.
Shu is like what, 13?
Around that, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, and there are kids in this military that have to be like 9 or 10 as well.
Yeah, probably younger too.
Yeah.
But that kind of brings us into something else is that I want to bring up is that this anime like it's not afraid to pull any punches, or it will not pull any punches. I should say.
Definitely.
Any
not.
literal punches. Everyone gets punched
Yeah.
at least once. Yeah.
Everyone gets hit, because this is a 90s anime. There's rape in it.
Of course. Thank God. But
It's at first implied rape, and then it's like very, very in your face rape.
yeah, absolutely. Well, after Shu and La-La-Ru fall down, eventually La-La-Ru gets captured, and Shu gets also captured, because they're kids. What would you expect at first, right? So Shu's just being, like, strapped to this chair, being, like, just getting the shit beat out of him by that second lady in command. I forget her name. But, like, the entire time, he's, like, not willing to aid them. He wants to help La-La-Ru. And then... Yeah, Amelia, yeah. She's really cool.
It's Abelia.
Is it Abelia? Abelia?
Yeah.
Oh,
Is
okay,
it?
yeah. Well, eventually he gets inducted into this child army, and he meets a few dudes there who he's at ends with, kind of, and you get to see the inner workings of the child army thing. But the entire time he's just trying to escape and help La-La-Ru.
Yeah, and he's like the fucking Buddha, dude. He
Dude,
won't fight anyone.
He's so optimistic. I love that kid. That's peak optimism.
like these people are like not afraid to just like murder like insurrectionists.
Yeah.
And shit, and he's walking around with his like sage staff, being like, "I shall not kill,
And his
Yeah.
sage staff is this
and
kendo
you
sword.
should not either."
It's this like training kendo sword that he carries around. Yeah.
Man, fucking. Just a throw in. He sucks so much at kendo, but like, and it's established in one scene where it's like he has to fight some other kid that he
Yeah.
sucks at fighting too. But then afterwards, in like different
mans
scenes,
up.
he like kicks ass all the time.
He went through a lot of shit.
Yeah. Well, he's very aggressive. He just doesn't. He's very forward with his attacks. You know, he doesn't think about it.
Yeah.
I don't think that changes at all,
It doesn't.
to
but
be honest.
He has
because like
yeah.
he'll jump on people and shit.
I guess the primal instinct awakened in him after like all the shit that was done to him. Like he was strapped, like he was hung like by his arms and back from this post as like in the blazing sun for days as crows pecked at him, and even then he's still optimistic and wanted to help everyone. I love that kid.
Man, and while he was hanging there, like a fucking war broke out, and
Yeah.
they fucking
Yeah, they
nuclear
shot a very
attackers.
large weapon near him.
Yeah. So, pretty much, we have that Hollywood wants La-La-Ru so that they can take over the world because Hamda's insane and they're all loyal to him for some reason. It's this weird dictatorship situation.
Yeah.
La-La-Ru is held captive
Like-
at the very top. I'll continue, yeah.
Apparently, like he like ruled the earth at one point with his big ship, and then like he got cooed against, and then all the water went
Oh.
away for some reason,
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I think I
and
remember.
that's why.
Right. So,
Also, like in the beginning of the anime, he just kills a random cat for no reason.
yeah, what the I was so angry. That's when you know that he's fucked up, yeah.
Yeah.
He gets really mad, and you just hear a cat
Yeah.
screeching in the background.
Yeah.
And then the next scene, there's just like this dead cat
Yeah.
that he keeps like stepping on.
Yeah, talking about pulling no punches. Pulling no punches. Like, the first 2 episodes, this cat gets murdered. This kid, yeah.
Like, this cat has no significance. We never even see it alive on screen.
Yeah.
We only see it dead.
I want to point out that even though
guess.
all this dark shit is happening, the show is never edgy. Never edgy. It's so, like, gritty and real, I think.
Yeah, it's
Love
like
it.
gritty in that 90s
Yeah.
anime way.
I think that's due to a large part because of Shu.
It's like, even though it's so dark,
it's
it's
because
still
Shu is so.
motivational, because like
He's
Shu
like,
pulls
don't
it
worry,
up all the
guys. It
time.
doesn't matter that like you're murdering children and you are murderers and you want to kill me and I might not get back to Japan. Let's just work together, guys. Let's just stop killing, guys.
His like pro-life speeches are
Yeah.
like
He has great
always
Pro-life,
amazing.
the pro-life shit didn't even come from him originally. It was from the big black woman.
That's true. Okay, but what I wanted to say was that we established that Shu gets captured. He's in the child army.
No, it was
Child army,
It was
and
from
then Lalaru's in the very top of Hollywood, where this like it's Hamdo's quarters pretty much, where he kind of like insanely babies her and gives her all this elegant food, and then flips out and like crushes the tomato between his like arm and like lets the juice spill down and blah blah blah. He's crazy, and then eventually Shu breaks out. Well, he finds a way to slip out during the night or something, and then he takes this epic quest to save Lalaru, and he manages to break her out, kind of.
He doesn't really actually do anything. She just uses her water powers.
He made an attempt. He got pretty far, and then Lalaru's like, all right, let me pull the water switch. Yeah.
The thing with like Lalaru is that like we find out after she saves him, is that like she has seen this shit all happen before.
Yeah.
People fighting with her or fighting each other over her water powers because water is important.
And she's 2,000 years old or something.
She's very jaded. Yeah, she's the 2,000-year-old Lolly.
Yeah.
So like the only time she ever does like even have any cares about anything is when like someone she's caring about is in trouble. So like if Shu's in trouble, or if like some of the other characters she grows fond of is in trouble later.
Yeah, she splooshes really hard, and then the tsunami wipes out Hollywood, kind of.
Do you think she's immortal? Because I was getting like the feeling that she's just like immortal.
They never say anything about her mortality, but I don't know. I get why
Like,
you would
it
think
just-
that.
I really like. I just somehow doubt that she would have survived for so long if she was just not able to be killed.
Maybe
right?
she is water, you know? Right?
God, I thought they were gonna pull. Never mind. I'll talk about that when we talk about like the end. I don't even
Yeah.
know if we should.
Okay.
But, yeah, that shit happens. They run away. God damn, dude, and they cannot resist. They cannot resist putting a tentacle scene into this anime.
Well, it was tasteful.
Yes, it was light tentacle.
It was a sand tentacle, so it doesn't count.
It was very explicitly a tentacle though.
Okay. It was a vine, but
they
yes.
spent like a whole episode on this tentacle thing.
Okay.
Yeah, the tentacle monsters in Sword Art Online Alfheim also were just vines.
Okay,
dude.
no, those were
It's
tentacles.
fine.
Vines aren't pink. Okay, but how you get to those tentacle monsters? That final destination was that he had to go through Hollywood for the first time and get out of Hollywood somehow. And in doing that, he gets imprisoned. During his imprisonment, he meets Sarah, and Sarah is this actual American girl, or this Westerner.
No, she's specifically American.
Is she actually American? Is that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
She has the blonde hair and the blue eyes too.
Does she say that she's American?
Yeah, she's from America.
Oh man. Okay, yeah. Well, she gets captured there too, and I'm not even
Name's
sure.
Sarah.
I mean, it was like Sara, you know? That could mean a lot of things. But yeah, I'm not even sure how she got there in the first place. Did they just
Did you
make...
watch a sub?
I did watch it subbed, yeah.
Oh, I watched it dub.
Can you stop doing that? Please. Oh, that's right. They mistaked her. She looks like kind of like Lala Rue, so they mistaked her for her, and then they kidnapped her and they never let her go.
Yeah.
So
Well,
yeah,
like her hair is exactly Lala Rue's hair, and
Yeah.
she also has a necklace
Yeah,
with a
yeah.
jewel on it.
that's true. But yeah, she's imprisoned and her mind is kind of broken, and she hates men, justifiably. And,
Yeah, she's the one that like apparent like what they do to make their child soldiers is like they collect all the women and
Yeah.
they have the soldiers rape them
yeah,
and impregnate them so that they can have more child soldiers. It's foolproof.
very efficient.
And this happens to the Sarah girl,
Right.
and she like fucking straight up murders a dude and
Oh, yeah.
escapes, and we don't see her for like 8 episodes after that, right?
Not 8, like I'd say like 5 or 6. A few. Pretty much, she escapes like under the cover of night because she was in this soldier's room and he was about to rape her. She kills him and then escapes into the sand and passes out into the sand, and some dude picks him up. But that was like before Shu even got out. So Sarah got out, and we don't know about her situation until later. But first, like, Shu has to try to get Lalaru out there somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that kind of talks about like where the characters end up without giving away too much about the end, because I actually don't really want to talk too much about the end,
Okay, yeah.
because a lot of shit goes down,
Yeah.
a lot more than what we're letting on,
Okay, yeah.
and
agree.
I feel like it's something that should be experienced for yourself.
That's true.
We're missing our friend Alex. Ground control to Alex, where are you? Okay, whatever. We have editing magic. Welcome to the second half of the podcast. Today we only have Joodough and I, Null
Hey.
Toxicity.
What's up?
We're gonna be talking about the writing in this anime. What do you think? Was it well written?
I think that the pace of the show flowed smoothly. All the elements they introduced were interesting. All the characters that they wrote, which is kind of separate, were also interesting and compelling. I understood what the place was about pretty quickly, and I understood what Shu wanted, what the goal was, and then they did it very well, I think. So yes, I'm a fan. Overall.
Yeah, I also like thought the writing was like really well done. Honestly, like 0 loose ends by the end of the anime.
Yeah.
Everything that should have happened did happen.
Right.
Even if I don't necessarily agree.
They addressed it all, though. They addressed it all.
They addressed everything. The only kind of problem I have is like the writing on Abelia,
Yeah.
which is like the second in command, like commanding officer of Hamdo's army,
Yeah.
who like she is so like her faith to Hamdo, which is the leader,
Yeah.
is just so like unquestioning and not explained at all.
Yeah, seemingly
I-
for no reason. I get it.
I feel like we could have done with like at least a little bit of expositing, especially like because there were a lot of scenes where Abelia and Lala Rue are in a room together alone, and they're like talking about how much they hate each other or some shit.
Yeah.
And I feel like that might have been a really good time to talk about that, because like those scenes really didn't accomplish too much. So
I know what you mean.
that's my only like actual problem with it, because like the thing with Abelia is it's supposed to be like she's supposed to be like really capable, and she does everything that Hamdo says, but like slowly she like starts giving up on Hamdo's like shit and lets him die.
Yeah, he's not
Which
ability is not really developed as much as I'd like, but I think that this is definitely stretching it a bit, but I don't think that she's necessarily loyal to Hamdo himself, but more like the position that she's in, the society that she's in. She has this position of power, and like I'm assuming she feels some kind of responsibility, and that like that's her thing to do. It's her duty. It's her job. Even though like it's kind of in shambles, and Hollywood's not even a real country or anything. But they don't develop that enough.
With her specifically, it's like she's like a good character, like a good person.
Yeah.
It's like some point of her being.
Right.
Because like she, after they're done interrogating the boy to try, or like Shu to try to find out, I call him the boy because that's what Hamdo kept calling him. He's like, "Where's the boy?
Where's that boy?" Yeah.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Like she asked like what they should do with him after they're done interrogating him, and he's like, "Whatever you want." So like she lets him live and puts him in the yard. Like I feel like she could have run this country, or whatever you want to call it, way better than Hamdo did.
I'm pretty sure Abelia's actually the one running it all, and Hamdo just sits there and like fucks around all day.
Well, yeah, she runs it all, but like the second he says like, "Hey, fucking spread all our forces across the desert so we can find a cave," like
oh yeah, that's
she immediately answers him and just does it, whatever.
I guess so. Yeah.
Like, hey, we don't have enough people. Go get more people right now.
Yeah, it'd be nice if they developed that more. But overall, like, her place in the story was pretty clear, and she garnered enough sympathy that you wanted her to stop getting slapped around. And every scene with her, had an interesting dynamic.
Still didn't even have like any sympathy for her towards the end.
You didn't?
I just. No.
I had plenty.
I can't. What is it? A heel turn where they turn good?
I don't think.
Or is it a face turn? I can't remember.
But she didn't turn good. She was always good. She was just released.
Her soul was pure.
Yeah, her. I swear by Kingdom Hearts that Abelia's heart was light or something.
Yeah,
but I don't know. I think that
she went from being a bad guy to being a good guy.
Well, she was a bad guy because Hollywood was in place, and after Hollywood and Hamdo was eliminated, she could finally like be like, "Holy shit! Thank God I'm done with that." And then she could.
Well, like her main like big turn was like where she just let Hamdo die, right?
Yeah.
So it's like that's where you're supposed to feel sympathy, but it just felt like kind of an empty, like, I don't know if it felt empty, but it didn't feel like super emotional.
No, yeah, I know what you mean. Because like when she let him die, like this chamber is filling up with water and Hamdo eventually drowns in it. But like I thought you get this supreme justice moment where like she kicks his teeth in and then like just destroys him, but that didn't really happen.
Yeah.
So yeah, but that's definitely something I would have liked done a little better or more tighter, but
yeah, But all the other characters were like written
fantastic, I think.
Yeah, very very well.
Yeah.
Like Lalaru starts out as this character that like doesn't talk much. She only talks when she has something like impactful to say. To like she's starting to like grow fond of people around her, and she's talking a lot more, and that's a really nice development.
We don't know much about her, but like her position in the story is so clear that like we don't really need to know literally every facet of her character, because like what they need out of her is something that she fulfills well at all times.
She's literally Angel from Angel Beats.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, you know what Angel is supposed to do. You don't need Angel to talk for that to happen.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
I know comparing anything that's good to Angel Beats is kind of, questionable, but...
Yeah. So pretty much, going back to the plot, they get out of Hollywood after a bunch of goofs and gaffes, kind of. They get out, and they're like... They have to trek across this endless desert to try to fight, I don't know, just get away from Hollywood somehow. And then eventually, like, they steal, like, a scooter, right? They had this sick-ass, like, desert scooter that they stole.
Yeah, it was like a hover bike.
Yeah, it was really cool, and they hovered along until it, like, eventually ran out of fuel or something. Oh, wait, did the,
it got fucked up by the tentacle monster.
Yeah, that happened. That happened first. Yeah. So they're traveling across the wasteland, and then all of a sudden, like the sand starts like shifting, and this giant tentacle like grabs out and whips Lalaru's ankle and starts pulling her in, and then like the scooter's being sucked in, and they have this really cool action scene with just them trying to escape this tentacle monster that like this like heat-seeking tentacle monster who like immediately jets out towards the two of them and tries to kill them, and they spend some time on top of this rock formation, like just gazing up at the world, and it's a nice breather moment.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there was kind of like they kind of like just Deus Ex Machina away the tentacle monster.
I mean, they knew its range.
They threw a grenade at it, right?
Yeah.
And then it like revealed the monster, so we see the full monster, and then the monster just like whips its thing out, like whips its tentacles out, and it just grabs a grenade from beside them and it eats it.
That's
and
true.
For like it felt like the characters were not going to make it out of that situation unless that monster did that exact thing.
No, yeah, I was about to say, like, how else would they have gotten out?
Yeah,
they would have been fucked. Yeah. Wait.
So it did feel like they kind of wrote the characters into a corner, and then they're like, well, how do we get rid of the tentacle monster now?
That's true, but the artistic direction there was good though. I felt I felt a connection somehow. I forget, like they stole the scooter from like I'm guessing a military dude or something. I don't know.
I think they just kind of hand waved it, and they like showed them drive, because there are a lot of like just cuts to next scenes in this anime.
But he has like he has a grenade. Like, where'd that come from? I forget.
They had like a backpack or something. I don't know where the backpack came from either.
Yeah, well, it works out.
One thing I want to mention is that like I wish this anime would have had more mechanical art, because what they showed in the beginning with these like
the dragons.
Like weird, they're like these serpentine like dragon mechs that people pilot, right?
Those are so cool.
And then they have like actual mechs, and the mechanical art looks so nice, and this hover bike looks sick and everything, but there just really wasn't a lot of it.
Yeah, that's true. I would like to see more of that.
Yeah, I would have, because it was very well done. It was very well executed when we saw it.
Yeah, but instead of that, we saw a ton of like the beautiful desert environment and this desert village that comes up which is their next destination.
Yeah, so they find this like I don't even know what you would call it, like a
it's like a canyon village settlement thing.
Yeah, it's got a bunch of like little huts chiseled into the mountainside or the canyon side.
Yeah.
And that's where people live, and turns out it's the people that sent assassins in to try to kill Hamdo. So like he's super mad at them.
Oh yeah, that happened. That happened while they were there. Like they ran into some assassins. Who died. So
like Hamdo is obsessed with killing these guys.
Yeah.
And he uses all of the water that Lalaru created to escape with to fuel his flying castle machine thing.
Yeah.
It's so weird, because like they're like, oh, but just put the chemical propulsion stuff into the water and it becomes fuel, and they drop these giant like cubes of soy into the water and it becomes fuel.
Yeah, Hollywood runs on Soylent like extract exclusively or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, the entire like flying over to the village process. The village probably has a name that I'm not aware of. It's like it takes a while. That's like the second half of the show. So pretty much while Shu and Lalaru and Sarah, actually, as we find out later, are at that village, like Lalaru begins to interact with a bunch of kids, because there are kids there that are really nice. And then there's this big sister character who's like a mom that takes care of all the kids, and Lalaru starts to like being around people. They
literally call her sis.
They call her sis, yeah. And that's her name, actually. They just didn't get her name.
She just doesn't have a name.
Yeah, and that's when Lalaru becomes like...
Zari Bars is what the place is called.
Oh, yeah. That's right. So she becomes attached to this people. It's like, wait, people are kind of... I like being around these people. I want to protect these people. And then there's development with Sarah, and then trying to reconcile that yes, you did get raped and commit murder and you're fucked and you're
pregnant
and it's not your fault at all. But you know, and then there's a lot of development there.
She like tries to kill herself, and
Yeah.
Shu like
Launches
forcefully makes her not kill herself. Like he
Dude,
like slaps her.
Shu does a lot of tackling in this show. Like
Yeah.
he tackled her to stop her from jumping off like the waterfall or something, and
Yeah,
then he slaps
is where
her.
this is where the pro-lifer shit comes in, where he's like, you can't kill yourself because you got a life inside you. You got a babby.
I think it was kind of charming actually, like his justification for why you shouldn't, why everything will be okay. It's like don't worry, if you're alive, good things will happen. I swear, I know it. It's gonna happen, no matter how many bad. It's just there's good.
No,
come on,
dude,
just do it.
He's the ultimate conservative, dude.
Yeah, it's great.
I love how I said it was a liberal anime in the beginning of this. I just realized that pro-life is a conservative stance. Whoops.
Okay, but yeah, I think like there are moments where Shu's childhood moment, like his childhood, his childlike qualities, because he's actually a child, like come through, are a really strong element in telling the show's story overall. Because like you have part of the reason why the show doesn't seem edgy and like down on itself is because, not part of, like almost entirely the reason why it doesn't seem that way is because Shu is so positive, he's so go-getter optimism. And
he's a beacon of light in a
he's
grim world.
such a beacon of light, and like that aspect of him helps Sarah not kill herself. And
oh my gosh, she was like taking a like rock and she was like trying to like ram it against her stomach, dude. To like abort.
No, she got fucked, literally and also mentally. You know, if we talk about no holds barred, that's completely Sarah. She just got destroyed by everyone. Yeah.
Do you want to like talk about the themes of this show at all?
Sure.
They kind of touch on a lot of interesting subjects, like, you know, child soldiers and violence and like whether it's okay to kill somebody who's done something evil, right? Or whether it's okay to kill someone, period. And like the exploitation of children, like slavery, and like what happens when you just launch wars on people on a whim, like what the consequences of these things are. It's a very good exploration of those themes, in my opinion.
It definitely is, but that's not like my initial takeaway from it. I enjoyed it as like an art piece in itself, but I definitely see why like the themes it presents are the way it presents the themes that it has, such as, you know, like you just said, child slavery, just general abuse of humankind and warfare. Those are presented really well.
It's like, because like when it comes to the exploitation of like children and things like that, it's like the reason they're using child soldiers is because like children have a tendency to try to block out things that like seem bad, right? Like there are these 10-year-olds that are just they know that killing people is wrong, but they're just gonna do it because they know they have to, right?
And they're easy to brainwash, and all of them are brainwashed. And a few of them become Shu's friend and like actually aid in his escape at first, which is a nice scene. But they come back during this giant invasion of Zaribars, I think, and then a lot of shit goes down. Big
spoiler right here, okay?
Are you gonna?
I'm gonna drop it.
Okay, go ahead.
Close the podcast. End it right now if you don't want to hear this. Literally every character that you love in this anime will die.
Every character dies. Even the little girl. What's her name again? It was like Soon die. Oh, come on. That was a sweet little girl that I was waiting for her papa to come back.
And the little black kid, Boo. He dies too.
Boo didn't deserve to die. Oh no. Because what happens is that there's a standoff scene where like the the kid soldiers that were Shu's like companions, I guess, break into this house because they're ordered to kill everyone in the entire the entire village, and Shu's like holding a bunch of kids, like trying to protect them from Narita, which is like his main supervisor dude, I think, while he was still in the army. He's like pointing a gun at him, and then he's like, just step out of the way. I'm gonna kill all these children. And then Boo starts having second thoughts, like, I don't know, man. I don't want to kill all these children. And then and as this exchange is going on, Soon, which is this little girl whose dad was one of the assassins in Hollywood, comes behind them with this rifle, and then Boo sees that, turns around and in slow motion jumps in front of Narita, and then Soon shoots Boo in the chest. He gets
domed in the head with a bullet.
Yeah, he gets destroyed, and then Narita turns around and like hip fires like 3 shots into Soon, this little girl, and then like they both collapse at the same time.
Yeah, these kids have to be like 8 years old, dude.
Yeah, even less, I'd say, less than 8 years old.
No, I think they're just about 8.
You mean the soldiers?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, maybe. I was thinking like the little kids.
Oh, the little girl, yeah. I think she might have been like 6 or 7.
Yeah, that shit was awful. Everyone dies, including the the kid soldier who shot Soon. Everyone dies.
Yeah, everybody. Yeah. I really wanted. We're still in spoiler section.
Yeah.
So like, fucking Lalaru pulls an Infinity War on us.
Yeah.
Just fucking, she used her water powers for the last time to. Yeah. She uses her avatar powers to save the world.
Yeah. She completely obliterates all of Hollywood, kills Hamdo, destroys the establishment.
This is mentioned earlier in the anime, but she keeps getting weaker the more she uses her powers. And she uses it one last time, and then she just fucking disappears in Shu's arms. And it's like...
She fades.
Man.
Like, her opacity gently slides down from 100 to 0.
she's like, Shu, I don't feel so good.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, is like, it was a really cool scene because in the beginning they do this establishing shot where like it's Shu meeting Lalaru for the first time and they're in front of a sunset.
Yeah.
And they're watching it, and then at the end she's in his arms and they're watching the sunset in this other world, and you start seeing the sun like peek through her body as she disappears, and it's very like it was a very good like conclusion. As much as I hated it, like I really wish they just hadn't done that.
Yeah, it was good.
I feel like it was unnecessary.
Good art.
But yeah, I think it's fine. And then like what was the other thing? Oh yeah, Shu, I totally thought. Yeah, I'm sitting here like episode 4, I'm like, Shu's gonna die. It's just gonna happen. I thought that Shu was gonna like martyr himself to save like Lalaru or like someone, right? And or Nabuka, which is like his friend that was in the army that ends up dying. Like,
that's his name.
If he martyred himself to save the soldier who is questioning his own like loyalty to the army, like I feel like that might have even been a better character like moment for Shu than what he got.
That actually does make a lot of sense, actually. Yeah, because he does go back to Japan. Like they beam him out of the machine, and like unceremoniously he just kind of like walks into the ring and like doesn't say anything, looks at the dudes and like blips out. And then the ending scene where he's just walking in like, it's like normal Japan at nighttime or evening. He just
picks up his kendo stick and walks into the sunset.
Yeah, he just like turns around and looks at the sunset, and his expression is like, well, like that just happened. It didn't seem like much closure for Shu himself. He just kind of walked out.
It's interesting because like the sun, when he gets teleported back in, is in the exact same like. It's in the exact same position that it was in the beginning. Yeah. And I'm wondering if that means that there was no passage of time in the real world.
I think there was passage of time because when Shu first got blipped out into the Hollywood, I think it was like the early afternoon, but when he went back, it was clearly the sun was about to set.
No, they were watching a sunset when he got teleported in.
Were they actually?
Yeah.
I feel like it was darker when
no,
like,
the
when
sun was like in the middle of the screen, like right above a little cloud. I remember noting this down.
Okay, maybe I'm wrong. That's true because like when because you see the water tower things again, and they have like giant holes in them where the dudes blipped in. So maybe, I don't know. There's no evidence to suggest that either way. But yeah, it could definitely be the case.
Which is just like, I don't like, welcome to the fucking end of the podcast, Alex. Thanks for stopping by.
My fucking power went out.
No, are you on Audacity?
I'm recording again, yeah.
Okay. Fucking, well...
where are we on the fucking thing?
Do you have any final thoughts on the anime?
It was good. I agree with this pro-life messages.
Sick. How about you, Joodough?
Fan 24/7, pro-life, against child slavery. Keep living. Good things will happen to you. Drink water. Stay healthy.
Yeah. I really like this anime. However, I'm not pro-life. I feel like if Sarah wanted to kill herself, she should have been allowed to.
I mean, she turned
I'm pro-choice.
Yeah, I'm pro-choice. No, I'm pro-death.
She chose at the end. You have to admire Sarah. Her choice to, instead of going back to easy Japan life or America life, she decided to start a new campaign in RimWorld.
I mean, she couldn't play that. She became a murderer. She killed this one guy who wanted to rape her.
Well, yeah, but at the end,
we already talked about all that. Don't worry, dude.
I won't worry.
But at the end, she's like, I'm gonna start my RimWorld campaign with all these children, and in my desert climate, with no resources on hardcore mode or something. Very appreciative.
So I'm wondering. Okay, so in the beginning of the anime, he has like a crush on this girl in the kendo club.
Does he actually? It's been a long time.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm wondering if when he comes back to Japan, he finally impresses her with his newly found combat abilities and taps that.
I thought it was like, I mean, probably, but it felt like it felt like the writer wanted he was the only one who experienced that from his world, and nothing's gonna change.
Maybe.
In Japan.
Yeah, nothing's gonna change in Japan, but I think that Shu has changed.
I felt like
I think
back to square one.
Nah, I don't think it's like that entirely.
What,
we just got.
It felt like he just dreamt something cool, and that's it.
No, because he looks up and there's fucking holes in the pipes that he was sitting on.
Yeah.
Oh,
also I do have other final thoughts. All right. I have like one of those huge pipes in my fucking town, and they're really huge. I'm impressed that he could climb up there.
Well, he had a ladder.
Yeah.
It's still incredibly high.
I'm impressed he had the dexterity to climb a ladder. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's more stamina in that.
And also mental grit, which he has shitloads of. But yeah, imagine him going back to kendo class and like, instead of doing traditional kendo, he just does like straight up Krav Maga because he's been inducted into the child army. He like pokes someone's eyes out and slits their throat as a first nature.
The guy in the kendo club that he fights in the beginning is very much like an analog for Nauka in the other world.
That is true. It's kind of weird that they'd like bother introducing characters in Japan if he just immediately.
Wait, did you guys talk about how Nabuka's friend or whatever who became a bad guy?
Yeah, no, he sucks. I hate him. I don't
want that he deserves to die.
I hate that guy.
Of course, he deserved to die.
Well, he only drowned. That's not good enough.
Not
pulverized.
That's fine.
The main bad guy drowned as well.
He should have gotten pulverized by Albida or whatever. God, man. So many people, like, everyone died, but the people who deserved to die hard didn't die as hard as the people who didn't deserve to die hard. If that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The guy who shot Nabuka should have been destroyed from the inside out. The pair of anguish should have been brought out and like used to rip open this guy's soul.
Okay, so fan theory.
Yeah.
You know how at the end of Angel Beats,
Not again.
Angel in her next life gets together with fucking what's the guy's name? Yuta.
It was like Yu Otasaka Yu or something.
Something I don't fucking know.
Something.
Anyway,
the viewer.
how they get together. Okay, so I think that the girl from the Kendo Club is Lalaru, and she was just Shu.
I mean, they were in the same timeline though. Like they were both in. Were they not?
They were
in Japan at the
both
same time?
at the same room, which is outside of Japan.
Yeah.
Outside Japan.
Like the thing is like with that teleporter bullshit in the beginning, like anyone could have come to Japan, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
Also, if they have a teleporter that lets you go to a world that has plenty of water, like isn't that like?
Why didn't they just go to like a planet with
Why didn't
water?
they just
Why
invade
didn't
Japan?
Why didn't they just steal water from the earth?
Yeah, Japan is surrounded by water.
I mean, they saw the glory of Japan and realized that they couldn't contest.
I think that thing could fuck up Japan. I don't think the JDF could do anything about that.
Maybe they
just
didn't want
just
to
punch it in the face,
fuck up
dude.
the timeline.
Just punch it in the face.
Yeah, really hard. I feel like the JDF could do it. Ever seen Gate, dude? The JDF can deal with extraterrestrial threats with machine guns. Extremely
Yeah, those are
easily.
fantasy creatures, though. This is like desert punk shit, dude.
Okay, yeah, I guess so. Well, desert punk shit, they're just like dudes.
They have shotguns, though.
Yeah, wow. Japan doesn't have that.
I guess they don't.
Yeah, I don't know. Fucking, I think that this castle could single-handedly at least take Tokyo.
Like, maybe from... If it, like, spawned in the middle of Tokyo, maybe. But, like, not on a full-on fair
wait,
fight.
no, I know the problem. The
Where would you
teleporter is
get-
inside. The teleporter is inside of the castle.
Yeah.
So it can't teleport the
And
castle.
like even if you would build
Oh.
a huge teleporter, like where would you get the energy from? Everything's surrounded by sand.
Water. From Lalaru, right.
I guess.
Maybe if everyone just pissed into, like, the fuel tank, it'd harvest some of their piss into fuel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. You know, even if Hollywood spawned in the middle of Tokyo, it'd only be a matter of time before it got shut down, is my opinion.
Probably. I don't
Yeah.
know. I mean, Japan's got allies too.
Yeah.
They're part of the UN.
All the samurais would come
Maybe
out, I'm
that's
sure,
what.
and immediately
Maybe that's
destroy
what
it.
happened in the Second World War. And that's why they had to nuke it another time.
You're right, because Hollywood spawned.
Yeah.
Game theory.
Key theory. I think I'm
Something-
done talking about this anime.
I gave it a 10 out of 10 on Mal. I still feel that way,
yeah,
probably.
same.
9.5
I give
or
everything a
something.
10.
Alright.
To be
Yeah,
honest.
I think it was definitely like a solid 9 for me for rating
Yeah.
it out of 10.
Yep, fantastic. It sounded good, alright.
Anime
Yeah,
was great.
Yep.
It had good sound design.
Good art,
the
good
music
animation,
was
good
cool,
characters, good writing, good
everything.
sound.
Lightly, we
Wait.
wish they'd developed Abelia more and gave her more depth and motivation and tighter
No.
conclusion for her story, I guess. But overall, I loved it. Great story, great show. Love it. Good.
And also, Shu should have died.
No.
That would have been very interesting. Yeah.
I would have really liked it if Shu martyred himself to, like, change Nabuka's mind about being a soldier.
But if Shu dies, then Lalaru has to die.
If you like fell off the ladder in the
Uh.
beginning of the fucking pipes.
What? No, I'm talking about, like, towards the end. I'm
Yeah.
fucking... I don't want this paradox shit. Alright, cool.
I recommend
was there
it.
anything...
It's good.
I guess if, like, if you are, like, if you're not into, like... I would not consider this, like, hyper-violence in
No.
the vein of, like, Fist of the North Star or,
Yeah.
like, Hellsing Ultimate or Helsing or anything like
No.
that, but it is
Yeah.
very, very violent.
It's very gritty and realistic. In
Have
the
you guys
violence
talked
that it
about the
presents.
fucking sick sand creatures?
Yeah, we
Yes,
talked
we
about
talked about the tentacle rape.
The tentacle rape, yeah.
I guess.
Uh,
You can call it that.
Yeah.
If you want to explore some really cool themes, definitely check it out. And just a good ass story and some good ass art
Yep.
and some good ass animation and a good ass short synopsis.
And some
It's how
motivation
you-
to do anything at all.
It's how you do isekai right. It's what Sword Art Online
No, I
should have
don't-
been.
Yeah.
I don't think this anime motivated me. I think it just made me not happy about life.
Isekai's supposed to be motivation.
If you have something that's called empathy, Shu will help you get through the day.
Wish I had a shoe in my life.
Alright, see you later, guys.
Wish I had
Good
shoes.
Yeah, I wish they lose their shoes.
Oh wait, there's no theme song. Well, there kind of is.
The opening is
Yeah.
shit. The ending was sick.
Yeah, I
Okay.
didn't actually listen to the opening or the ending because
There is no opening. It's a slideshow.
It's like fucking.
What is the quote in the
good.
beginning? Did any of you guys note it down?
No, but it's a
off the
good
top,
quote.
it's
It adds
like-
to the vibe.
It's like
And-
after 1 billion years.
After 1 million years,
uh,
to something human heart grows fond. of.
demons and water.
Yeah.
That was so fucking sick.
Pretty
Uh,
Alright,
and-
cool.
Good quote.
Good show.
Hell yeah.
Everyone
English
does.
voices were good. Japanese voices, I assume, were good.
Only watch it stretched for the best experience.
Yeah, for the best experience, get like the longest monitor you can and put it on stretch full screen 4x3.
That sounds optimal. Well, now and then, here and there, everyone. It's a great
There
time.
and why, when, how.
Wait, why did we watch it?
No, it's gay. That's season 1 shit.
When and how.
See you guys.
Now, then, where. But when, now, and there, where. But where.
What? Why won't with whom to then?
Now and whomstove est
Alright, goodbye. Goodbye.
Good night.
Sorry for releasing this episode
Good night, dear viewer.
a fortnight after the past one.
Yeah.
Yeah. This
It went from like desert
this
punk to
anime is
waterworld.
desert punk but with water.
Yeah.